for week 7, we did group influencers, so adopting categories. Starts off with the innovators, who are more like the risk takers, like they're willing to try the products and like give it a go. The early adopters tend to be like the opinion leaders, so they get the information from like the innovators and like people kind of show the facts of the products, and then they tend to adopt it quite early. The early majority tends to be really in touch with their opinion leaders and like really focus on what they're doing, and they're not so much of a risk takers like compared to the innovators, but they're kind of in the middle. You know, they're willing to try new things, but they're not total skeptics. The late majority tend to be more skeptical of things, and they're not easily going to adopt whatever the opinion leaders and the early adopters and the early majority are doing. And then the laggards are pretty dogmatic and not really in touch with what's going on around them, so they tend not to adopt new products. So people that are kind of, you know, still use like the old Nokia phones and stuff, they are the laggards. And then the Ash phenomenon. So you'll act the same way as the people in the group that you think you belong to. Ash did a study, it was an Ash line experiment, and they got a whole bunch of people in the room, and they had to answer a question like which line is the longest, and all the other people in the room would say the wrong line, and then I think it was like 9 times out of 10 people would like conform to that. So, you know, it wasn't like a group of people that they knew, but it was like such a big group of people that said one thing, like they just quickly kind of said, you know, didn't think for themselves and will definitely follow the group if they're put in a situation too.
The associative and disassociative groups. Associative is basically who you associate yourself with, who you feel like you're going to be comfortable with and being around. Like if you feel like you're an athlete, you'll be comfortable around people who play baseball, softball, football. And a disassociative is the people you wouldn't want to associate yourself with, like you wouldn't want to be seen with, or you wouldn't want to be associated with. Opinion leaders is the people who are in the community, who are big in the community and important, and their opinions really matter. People look up to what they have to say, and things like that.
Okay, so market mavens are someone who absorbs information and news about a product. So, for example, Apple, like you have a group, and like you have one friend who knows everything about Apple, so he will end up showing the rest of the friend group the different little things that are inside of Apple. A brand community is a community formed on the basis of attachment to a product or brand. So, for example, like Comic-Con or TwitchCon is becoming a thing now. There's some anime stuff going for different animes. Everybody's dressing up in costumes and making a big community. So there's 3 questions we have to discuss. And the first one, why must a marketing manager understand the influence of certain groups? Marketing manager should understand the influence of certain groups is because certain groups, like different groups have different influences. They can influence attitudes, goals, opinions, information that determines on which basis of customers are going to buy or your products or your services.
And then the second one is how a marketer can take advantage of this reference group. So a little bit more on that. Like if you can get the reference group to start adopting the product, like that's going to be a massive potential consumer that you could reach out to. So they can take advantage of that if they can kind of in their advertisements like show like the certain group that they're trying to target. So if like you're targeting college students to buy Apple products, like show groups of college students like in their commercials using Apple products, because if you feel like that other people are using it and you belong into this group, then you are more likely to adopt it because you're going to act the way that you feel, act the same way as the group that you feel that you belong to. So if you see everyone using Apple products as a college student, like in TV, you know, on social media, then you'll be like, oh, I'm a college student, like I'm going to use Apple products instead of anything else.
And my question is, how can a marketer capture opinion leaders and encourage them to become brand ambassadors? They can do this by having that same opinion as the brand, as the marketers. And when you have that same opinion, you'll also have that same goal as the what is it, the marketers. Shoot.
And I think to encourage them to become brand ambassadors, like they're more like risk takers, but they definitely need to know the information before they're going to adopt it because they are the high people like in the community, like doctors and sheriffs and stuff. So if you're laying out the facts to them, then encouraging them to adopt it, it's going to be a bit easier that way than just trying to market, you know, just the benefits to them, I guess.
Yeah.